Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to crochet Daisy the frog. She's my original character inspired by Animal Crossing. I designed her pattern at the time where I play Animal Crossing a lot. So here's a close-up of Daisy. She has big blushes on both cheeks as well as a nice little smile, and also this daisy flower on top of her head, as you can see. And as for her body, she has this heart right in the middle, and then here's how she looks from the back side. And before we get started, I just want to let you know that this tutorial is suitable for beginners. I also have a written pattern as well that is available for purchase at my shop, pitachang.com. If you want to grab a pattern and use that along with this tutorial, you're all welcome to. But otherwise, this tutorial by itself is enough. I'm going to walk you through each pattern so you can follow along. For the materials, you are going to need 1.5 mm and 3.5 mm crochet hooks. Next is scissors, pens, yarn needles, a tweezer because that will come in handy for stuffing, stitch markers, the stuffing itself. And as for the yarn, you will need medium weight yarn or size 4 yarn in pink color, dark pink, white, and you will also need 6-strand embroidery thread, including yellow color, green, white, and black. If you are new to crocheting, please make sure to check out my Amigurumi 101 playlist. In that playlist, you can learn how to make different crochet stitches along with the sewing techniques you will need in this tutorial. The first thing we are going to make is going to be the chic blushes. You are going to use this dark pink color yarn. It is a medium weight yarn, and you will use a 3.5 mm hook to crochet this portion. First thing you are going to make is a loop. To make a loop, you will first starting by crossing over the yarn just like that and fold down this circle. Okay, once that is done, grab your hook and insert the hook below where the string of the yarn cross. Then you're going to pull this short end of the tail and then long end of the tail, hold those together and pull your hook upward. Now you have a loop. Next, we will have to resize this loop because this loop is a little bit too big. We want the loop size to be similar size as the hook. So what you're going to do is hold onto the short end of the tail and then pull on the long end to reduce the loop size. Okay, so you can adjust that. It should be around this size. Then let's make a chain. In order to make a chain, you will have to put the yarn over your hook like this, and then you will pull the hook through this loop. So this is a chain. We'll have to make another chain, so let's do that again. Wrap yarn over the hook and then pull through here. So we got one chain, and then that's the second chain. In the first round, we have to make 2 chains and then make 6 single crochet into the first chain. So this is the first chain. So I'm going to insert my hook into that first chain, and I'm going to show you how to make a single crochet. In order to make a single crochet, yarn our hook and then pull through. Notice how now you have the first loop and then the second loop. You're going to yarn over hook again and pull through the first loop and then pull through the second loop. So this is what we call a single crochet. You need to make 5 more in that same location. So I'm going to insert my hook into the same chain or the same hole. Now make another single crochet. So yarn over hook and then pull through. Now you have 2 loops. You're going to yarn over hook again and then pull through both loops. There we go. We just made a second single crochet. Same thing. Let's make the third one. So yarn over hook, pull through, yarn over hook, pull through both loops. That's the third single crochet. Insert the hook into that same chain, yarn over hook, pull through, yarn over hook, pull through both loops. That's the 4th single crochet. Okay, 2 more. Insert the hook into the middle, yarn over hook, pull through, yarn over hook, pull through both loops. That's the 5th single crochet. Last one. Insert the hook into the middle, yarn over hook, pull through, yarn over hook, pull through both loops. That's the 6th single crochet, also our last one for this round. So right now we just finished our first round, and typically when you finish the round, I would ask you to count. You might have already noticed, but at the end of this round you should have a total of 6 stitches, and we can count by starting at the first stitch, which is this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. It is important to count every round, because if you make a mistake in one round, the rest of the round will all contain mistakes, and you don't want to have to undo your work, because that is a lot of work. Another thing you also need to do is put in a marker to mark the end of this round, so that you know where each round start and end. So in order to that, I'm going to first pause my work. To pause your work, you can just widen the loops right here, and then take out your hook. Then grab a stitch marker, and then we're going to insert it into the last stitch of the round. Some people like to put it at the first stitch of the round, but it's just a preference, so I'm going to do last stitch of the round, just like that. It's all good. One more thing you can do to make this round looks a little bit better is that, as you can see, there is a tiny hole in the middle of this round. You can flip your work around where you can see this short tail. If you just hold tight to your piece and then pull this tail, it will help reduce the size of the hole slightly. As you can see, it's a little bit smaller and make your work look nicer. If this tail is in the way, you can also trim it off. So I'll do just that. I'll trim it off, but not too short, because you don't want anything to unwind. So we'll just leave it as that. Okay, so in order to continue your work, I taught you how to pause your work by making the loop bigger. But to continue your work, insert your hook back into the same loop, and then just pull on this long end of the yarn. Then you would reduce the size of the loop and now you can continue your work. For round 2, we are going to follow a sequence, and the sequence is make 6 increases. Okay, now I'm going to teach you what is an increase. An increase is how you expand your work. Typically, when someone say increase, that means you will have to make 2 single crochet in the same stitch, or at least that's what it means in most of my pattern. So we're going to start by inserting the hook into our first stitch, which is also a single crochet that we made from previous round. When you insert your hook, make sure that you insert it under both loops. What I meant by that is that over here you can see that this is the front loop, which is the loop closer to you, and then over here we have a back loop, which is a loop further away from you. When we are crocheting, we want to make sure that the hook goes under both loops. Okay, now as same thing as before, let's make a single crochet. So that would be yarn over hook, pull through, and then yarn over hook, pull through both loops. Okay, all we made so far is a single crochet here, but to turn this stitch into an increase, you need to insert the hook into the same stitch here where you made your first single crochet and make another single crochet. So yarn over hook, pull through, yarn over hook, pull through both loops. Now what we have here is 2 single crochet made in the same stitch. This is what I call an increase. This is an increase stitch type. Okay, and because the pattern for this round is to make increase 6 times, we basically need to repeat what we just did here for the rest of 5 remaining stitches. Okay, so let's continue. Insert the hook into the next stitch, and then let's make an increase. So we'll make 2 single crochet in that one. So this is 1 single crochet, and then make 1 more. That's an increase. That's the second increase. So we have 4 more to make. So insert the hook into the next stitch, and then let's make 1 single crochet, and then make another one. That's an increase. 3 more. 1, 2 single crochet. So now that's an increase. Okay, moving on to the 5th stitch. 1, 2, that's an increase. And on the last stitch, because we have the stitch marker there, make sure to pull it out, and then we'll quickly make an increase in the last stitch. So that's 1, and then that's the second single crochet. So we just complete an increase, and now we are done with the second round. So I'm going to quickly pause here to insert the stitch marker so that I remember that now we're at the end of this round. The next thing we're going to do is count the stitches for this round, make sure it's correct. For round 2, you should have a total of 12 stitches. So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then last one, 12. For round 3, we also going to follow a sequence, but the sequence is slightly different. The sequence is make 1 single crochet followed by an increase in the stitch after, and repeat that sequence for a total of 6 times. So let's start. In the first stitch, we are making 1 single crochet, and in the stitch after that, let's make an increase. Alright, so that's one sequence. So as you can see, this is a single crochet, and then this is an increase. So single crochet and then an increase. Now we're just going to repeat that sequence for 5 more times. So 1 single crochet, and then that's an increase. So this is the second time we repeated the sequence. Let's continue. 1 single crochet, oops, I just made an increase. So that's the third time we repeated the sequence. 1 single crochet, that's an increase. Okay, that's the fourth time we repeated the sequence. Almost there. 1 single crochet, that's an increase, and then 1 single crochet, and on the last stitch, take out the stitch marker, make an increase, boom. Alright, as you can see, we are at the end of round 3, but since this is the last round, I'm not going to insert back the stitch marker, but let's pause the work anyway to count the total number of stitches. You should have a total of 18 stitches in this round. So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and then 18. So we are good. The next thing we are going to do is to finish off our work. What I recommend to do before finishing off is make 1 extra single crochet, just because, you know, we ended off with an increased stitch, so it makes the size a little bit uneven. So we're just going to make 1 single crochet in the next stitch to sort of, you know, making the edge more smoother before we finish off. Alright, to finish off your work, some people also call this fasten off your work, basically to, you know, end your work here. You're going to make sure that you leave a very long tail, because we will need to use this part to sew. Then you can cut the tail with the scissors. Now back to the piece, all you need to do is pull off your hook like this until the tail comes all the way off. This is what we call finish off. You will need to make 1 more piece of the cheek blush. Next, we are going to make the eyes using this pink medium weight yarn with the 3.5 mm hook once again. First, you're going to start off by making a new loop. So let's cross the yarn over. And then let's pull this piece, pull down the tails and form a new loop. Now, let's resize the loop. Then you are good. Now let's chain 6 times. Yarn over hook and then pull through. That's one chain, second chain, third, fourth, fifth, and then 6. You can also count to be sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Next thing we are going to do is make 4 single crochet. So now let's insert your hook into the chain, the second chain from your hook. So this is the chain right next to your hook. This one always gonna be skipped. So let's insert that into the second one from hook. And then make 1 single crochet. Okay, we need to make 3 more single crochet, so I'm going to insert my hook into the next chain here. There's another single crochet. Now 2 more. Okay, there's a single crochet, 1 more. Okay, so as you can see, we made 1, 2, 3, 4 single crochet. On this last chain over here, we are going to make 3 single crochet inside that last chain. So this is 1 single crochet. It's the second single crochet, and then 1 more in that same chain. And now that's the third single crochet. So 1, 2, and then 3 in that same chain. And as you are crocheting, you will notice that your work, at first I started on this side, but when I make that 3 single crochet in 1 chain, my work started to rotate around to the side, which is natural, and you want to rotate your work this way anyway, so we'll keep it on the side. Next step is you're going to make 3 more single crochet. So this is the stitch after, so let's insert your hook there, and then that's 1 single crochet. This is the second one, and then the third one. Okay, so we just made 3 single crochet. Last but not least, we'll make an increase here. There's 1 single crochet, and then we need to add another single crochet in the same stitch, because that's what I call an increase. Alright, so now you might notice that the piece is curling up a little bit like this. We want it flat, so I'm gonna maybe stretch it out or flatten it out slightly. This is the end of the first round. What we made is kind of like an oval shape. And at the end of this round, let's first insert the stitch marker so we don't forget. And once that is in place, let's count the number of stitches. You should have total stitches at the end of this round 1. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 is over here. I'm gonna turn 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. For round 2, we are going to follow a sequence, and the sequence is make 1 increase, then 3 single crochet, then another increase, and lastly 1 single crochet. And then just repeat that sequence 2 times. Okay, let's start. So starting off with an increase in this first stitch. 1, 2, that's an increase. Then let's make 3 single crochet, 1 in each stitch, so that's 1 in the second stitch, then make 1 more after, and then 1 more. So that's 3 single crochet, 1 in each stitch. In the next stitch, make an increase. 1, 2, that's that's an increase, sorry. Then in the next stitch, make 1 single crochet. Okay, so this entire thing is a sequence. We're just gonna repeat the same sequence on this side. So we started off with an increase, so let's do that. 1, 2, that's an increase. Then 3 single crochet. 1, 2, 3. Then an increase. 1, 2, that's an increase. Then on the last stitch, make 1 single crochet. Insert the stitch marker, and in this round you will notice that your work will curve in a little bit, which is fine. That's what it's supposed to be, but it should curve in the direction toward this short end of the tail. This tail should be inside of that curve. That's how your tail is curving the right way. And at the end of this round, you should have a total of 16 stitches. So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let me hold that 10. And then 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and then 16. For round 3, we are going to repeat another sequence. The sequence is 3 single crochet, an increase, then 4 single crochet. So let's start. 1, 2, 3, and then let's increase. Then make 4 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the whole sequence. So let me show you again. 1, 2, 3, So these are 3 single crochet. Then after that you got an increase. Then after that you have 4 single crochet. Now let's repeat the sequence one more time. So make 3 single crochet. That's 1, 2, 3. Make an increase. 1, 2. There we go. And then make 4 single crochet. 1, 2, 3. On the last stitch, take out the stitch marker and then make 1 single crochet. That's the 4th one. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, single crochet. Now that we are done with this round, let's insert the stitch marker. Okay, so at the end of round 3 you should have a total of 18 stitches. So let's count. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. For round 4, there isn't really a sequence, so you will just have to follow along with me. This round, you will learn a couple of new stitch types, but I will try to show you slowly so that you can replicate them. First off, you are going to make 4 single crochet. So let's start. 1, 2, 3, 4. Next, you will have to make 2 half double crochet. I'm going to show you how to make a half double crochet. It's similar to single crochet. So let's start. For half double crochet, you will have to first yarn over hook before you insert the hook into the next stitch. Then you will yarn over hook again and then pull through. Notice how now you have 3 loops, not 2. Like single crochet would be 2, but this is half double crochet, so you have 3. You're going to yarn over hook again and then pull through all 3 loops. 1, 2, 3. Just like that. This is a half double crochet. Notice how it looks slightly different than your typical single crochet. Because we just made 1 half double crochet, we need to make 1 more in the next stitch. Again, yarn over hook first, then insert your hook, yarn over hook again, pull through. You got 3 loops, yarn over hook again, pull through all 3 loops. Okay, so those are the 2 half double crochet we just made. Next part of the pattern, you have to make 5 double crochet. A double crochet is very similar to half double crochet. I will show you. To do that, first yarn over hook, then insert the hook into the next stitch, yarn over hook again and then pull through. This part is similar to half double crochet because you want to have 3 loops here. But the next part I'm going to show you is slightly different. So yarn over hook, but this time pull through the first 2 loops only. So 1 and then 2. Notice how right now you have 2 more loops remaining. You're going to yarn over hook again and then pull through the rest of the loops. So this is a double crochet. Again, the texture looks slightly different than this half double crochet. It's a little bit taller as well, like the stitch itself. Okay, since we made 1 double crochet, we need to make 4 more for this pattern, so let's do that. So yarn over hook, insert the hook, yarn over hook and pull through. You got 3 loops. You yarn over hook, pull through the first 2. You yarn over hook again and pull through the last 2 loops. That's the double crochet. Okay, we need to make 3 more. So let's yarn over hook, insert the hook into the next stitch, yarn over hook again, pull through, yarn over hook, pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over hook again and pull through the last 2 loops. 2 more. Yarn over hook, insert the hook, yarn over hook, pull through, yarn over hook, pull through both front loops and then yarn over hook and pull through the last 2 loops. Okay, last one. Yarn over hook, insert the hook, yarn over hook, pull through, yarn over hook, pull through the first 2 loops and yarn over hook again, pull through the last 2 loops. So now we got 5 double crochet, and now we need to make 2 more half double crochet. So half double crochet, let's yarn over hook, insert into the next stitch, yarn over hook, pull through. You have 3 loops, yarn over hook, pull through all of them. This is half double crochet. Now let's make 1 more half double crochet. So yarn over hook, insert your hook, pull through, yarn over hook and then pull through, and then yarn over hook, pull through all. Okay, these are the 2 half double crochet. Now let's finish this round with 5 single crochet in each stitch. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's take the stitch marker out. 5. And since this is the end of the round, insert back the stitch marker. Okay, so this is what the end of round 4 should look like. And you should have a total of 18 stitches still. So I'm going to count for you, starting with this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. For round 5, you are going to repeat the exact same pattern as round 4. It's exactly the same thing. I'm not going to show it again, but instead I will meet you at the end of round 5 to show you what the finished eyes looks like. Here's the end of round 5, as you can see. You should have a total of 18 stitches at the end of this round, and since this is the last round, let's finish off. Again, you're going to finish it off with a long tail because we're going to need the tail to help us attach the pieces. So after cutting off that tail, let's pull this out to finish it off. You will also need to make another eye piece. For the arm, We also going to use this pink medium weight yarn with the 3.5 mm hook. You're going to start by making a new loop similarly as before. Then let's chain 2 times. And then make 6 single crochet into the first chain. Since we have made this before, I'm going to go a little bit faster now that you are familiar with how to make the single crochet. Four, 5, and then 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and pull this tail to close the hole. This is the end of round 1. Let's mark the end of this round. In round 2, we are going to follow a sequence, and the sequence is 2 single crochet followed by an increase. One, two. So that's 2 single crochet. Then let's make an increase. 1, 2. That's an increase. Then repeat the sequence one more time. So that's 1 single crochet. This is the second single crochet. Then take out the stitch marker and make an increase. 1, 2. Then let's mark the end of this round. So at the end of round 2, you should have a total of 8 stitches. Make sure to count. For round 3 to 5, all we're going to do is single crochet around. And what that means is you're simply going to make 1 single crochet in each stitch and repeat that for every stitch until the end of the round. So let me show you. So that's 1 single crochet in the first stitch, and that's another single crochet in the next stitch. So you're just gonna repeat that until you reach the end of the round. So let me do that real quick. Well, not real quick, but let's just continue till we reach the end of this round. And then for the last stitch, take that stitch marker out, make 1 single crochet, and then put in the marker back. So here's the end of round 3. For round 4 and 5, same thing, just single crochet around. So repeat the same pattern for the next 2 rounds, and I will see you at the end of round 5. This is the end of round 5. You should have a total of 8 stitches. For round 6, all we're going to do is making 3 single crochet. 1, 2, 3. And for the remaining stitches, we're just going to skip them or ignore them. So since we are now done, I'm going to pull off the stitch marker and let's finish off with a long tail again. And we will need to make one more of this arm. Next, we are going to make the head, and for that you will need to use the pink medium weight yarn still with this 3.5 mm hook. Let's start by making a new loop. Then let's chain 2 times. 1, 2, and then make 6 single crochet into the first chain. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. For round 2, we are going to increase 6 times. So let's start. That's 1 increase. That's the second one. That's the third one. Fourth. Fifth. And the final one. So at the end of this round, you should have a total of 12 stitches. Then mark the end of the round. For round 3, we are going to follow a sequence that is 1 single crochet followed by an increase, and repeat that for a total of 6 times. So let's start. That's 1 single crochet. That's an increase. Again, it's 1 single crochet followed by an increase, and that is our sequence. You have to repeat it for 5 more times until the end of this round, and I will see you at the end of round 3. So here's the end of round 3. You should have a total of 18 stitches in this round. For round 4, we are going to follow a similar sequence as round 3. The sequence is 2 single crochet followed by an increase. So let's start. 1, 2, 3. That's an increase. So it's going to be 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, then an increase. And you're going to repeat that sequence for 5 more times until the end of round 4. This is the end of round 4. You should have a total of 24 stitches. For round 5, we will repeat a new sequence. That is 3 single crochet followed by an increase, and repeat that for a total of 6 times. So let's start. 1, 2, 3, 'That's an increase. So 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, 3 of them, and then an increase. Then you would repeat this for 5 more times until the end of this round. Here's the end of round 5. You should have a total of 30 stitches. For round 6, the sequence is 4 single crochet followed by an increase, and repeat that for a total of 6 times. Let's start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 'That's an increase. Again, it's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4 single crochet followed by an increase, and then you're gonna have to repeat it for 5 more times until the end of the round. This is the end of round 6. You should have a total of 36 stitches. For round 7, the sequence is 5 single crochet followed by an increase, and repeat that for a total of 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 'And that's an increase. So we made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 single crochet followed by an increase. Let's repeat that for 5 more times until the end of this round. This is the end of round 7, and you should have a total of 42 stitches. For round 8 through 10, all we're going to do is single crochet around, which I showed you before. What it means is you're going to make 1 single crochet in each stitch, and repeat that until you reach the end of each round. So just keep going like this until you finish round 8, and once you're done, then repeat the same thing for round 9 and round 10. So for the next 3 rounds, again, single crochet around, and I will see you at the end of round 10. This is the end of round 10. You should have a total of 42 stitches. For round 11, the sequence is 6 single crochet followed by an increase, and repeat that for 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's an increase. So we did 1 2 3 4 5 6 single crochet followed by an increase. Then you're going to repeat that same sequence for 5 more times until the end of this round. This is the end of round 11. You should have a total of 48 stitches. For round 12 through 13, all we need to do is single crochet around, which means you just make 1 single crochet in each stitch until the end of the round. So repeat that for a total of 2 rounds, and I will see you at the end of round 13. Here's the end of round 13. You should have a total of 48 stitches in this round. For round 14, the sequence that we will follow is 5 single crochet followed by an increase. So let's start. 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 and then increase. Then you're going to have to repeat the sequence for 7 more times until the end of the round. This is the end of round 14, and you should have a total of 56 stitches. For round 15, all we're going to do is single crochet around. So make 1 single crochet in each stitch until you reach the end of round 15. This is the end of round 15. You should have a total of 56 stitches. For round 16, the sequence is 26 single crochet, then a decrease. So let's start with the 26 single crochet. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20 21 22 23 24 25 and then 26. Okay, next we are going to make a decrease. A decrease simply means single crochet 2 stitches together in my pattern usually. So start off by inserting your hook into the next stitch, yarn over hook, pull through. Notice how you have the 2 loops. Continue to insert your hook into the stitch after that, yarn over hook, pull through. Now that you have 3 loops, we're going to yarn over hook and pull through all 3 loops, just like that. So this is the decrease stitch type. As you can see, it's slightly bigger than the single crochet because when we do a decrease, we are crocheting 2 stitches together into one. Okay, and now that we have completed the sequence one time, you need to complete that same sequence one more time to reach the end of this round. And again, the sequence is 26 single crochet followed by 1 decrease. This is the end of round 16, and you should have a total of 54 stitches in this round. For round 17, the sequence is 2 single crochet followed by a decrease, then 3 single crochet followed by a decrease, and repeat that for a total of 6 times. So let's start. We're going to make 2 single crochet. That's 1, 2. Then decrease by inserting the hook into the next stitch, yarn over hook, pull through, insert the hook into the stitch after that, yarn over hook, pull through. Now you have 3 loops, yarn over hook again and pull through all 3 loops. That's a decrease. Next, make 3 single crochet. 1, 2, 3. Then make a decrease, insert the hook into the next stitch, yarn over hook, pull through, insert the hook into the stitch after that, yarn over hook, pull through, and then yarn over hook and pull through all 3 loops. There we go. So the sequence again is 2 single crochet, 1 decrease, 3 single crochet, 1 decrease after that, and repeat that for a total of 5 more times until you reach the end of this round. This is the end of round 17. You should have a total of 42 stitches. For round 18, the sequence is 5 single crochet followed by a decrease, and repeat that for 6 times. So let's start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then a decrease. There. So again, repeat the same sequence, 5 single crochet followed by a decrease for 5 more times until you reach the end of this round. This is the end of round 18. You should have a total of 36 stitches. For round 19, the sequence is 2 single crochet followed by a decrease, then 3 single crochet followed by a decrease, and repeat the sequence for 4 times. So let's start. 1, 2. That's 2 single crochet. Then let's decrease. There. And then let's make 3 single crochet. 1, 2, 3. Then a decrease. Then you're going to repeat the same sequence for 3 more times until the end of this round. This is the end of round 19. You should have a total of 28 stitches. For round round 20, the sequence is 1 single crochet followed by a decrease, then 2 single crochet followed by a decrease. That's 1 single crochet, and that's 1 decrease. So let's make 2 single crochet, 1, 2, then a decrease. Oops. There we go. Then you're going to repeat the same sequence for 3 more times. This is the end of round 20. You should have a total of 20 stitches. This is also a good point to stop to add stuffing. I normally like to stuff a lot so that my plush is a bit on the harder side so that it can maintain its shape rather than being too soft. So take your time when you add stuffing because you want to make sure the stuffing is sprayed out uniformly. I'm just putting the stuffing into the middle first and then kind of spreading it out to the side. Alright, that is good for now, and we can stuff a little bit more as we getting closer to closing the hole. For round 21, all we're going to do is decrease for a total of 10 times until the end of this round. So let's start. When you continue to crochet with the stuffing in, just use one of your fingers to push the stuffing down before you grab the stitch to avoid grabbing the stuffing as well. So that's one decrease. And that's the second decrease. So repeat that 8 more times until the end of this round. This is the end of round 21. You should have a total of 10 stitches. For round 22, which is also the last round, all you're going to do is basically same thing. Make a decrease until the end of the round, but it's going to be just 5 times. This is the end of round 22. You should have a total of 5 stitches remaining. And since it's the last round, let's finish it off with a long tail. And then let's close this hole. Simply insert the tail into the needle. So we're just gonna sew it closed. And once that is done, let's hide off the tail inside of the head. Alright, we are now done with this head. And on the side note, if you worry that these holes are too big, don't worry, because once we attach the body on, it's gonna take up this space in this area. So having big hole at the end doesn't matter too much. Next, let's make the legs. And you're also going to use the pink medium weight yarn with the 3.5 mm hook. Start off by making a new loop. Then chain 2 times. 1, 2, and after that make 6 single crochet into the first chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's reduce the hole in the center. And after that, insert the stitch marker. Now we are done with the first round. For round 2, the sequence is 2 single crochet followed by an increase, and repeat that for a total of 2 times. That's 1 single crochet, this is the second single crochet, one, 2, that's an increase. Let's repeat the sequence one more time. 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, 1, 2, that's an increase. Then mark the end of this round. You should have a total of 8 stitches. For round 3, the sequence is 3 single crochet followed by an increase. Let's start. That's 1, 2, 3. And that's an increase. Now repeat the sequence one more time. 1, 2, 3. That's an increase, and mark the end of this round. At the end of round 3, you should have a total of 10 stitches. For round 4 and 5, all you're going to do is single crochet around. So that means just 1 single crochet into each stitch until the end of the round. Now we're at the end of round 4. Let me mark the end of the round. And you should still have a total of 10 stitches in this round. For round 5, it's exactly the same pattern as round 4, just single crochet around. This is the end of round 5. You should have a total of 10 stitches still. And since this is the first leg that we made, I'm going to finish it off. You don't need to leave as long of a tail, just a little bit is fine because we're not gonna be sewing anything for this portion. And here's the first leg. You will need to make a second leg, and once you are done with round 5, do not finish off. We're going to continue joining the leg using the second leg. So this is the second leg at the end of round 5. Do not finish off because we need to join it to the first leg that we have made. In order to join from the second leg, you are going to chain 2 times. Okay, and then grab your first leg. You're going to insert your hook into a stitch on the first leg. Let me pick that one. And once you do that, you are going to make a single crochet. So yarn over hook, pull through, yarn over hook, pull through both loop to join. Alright, the next stitch we have to make is also a single crochet, so I'm going to do that. And then let's make an increase. Alright, then we make 3 single crochet. 1, 2, 3. This part is a bit uneven because this is where first leg finish off is at. So in the stitch after, I'm going to make a half double crochet. So I'm gonna yarn over hook and then insert my hook into that. And then we also want to secure this tail, so let's just put the tail over the hook itself. Yarn over hook and pull through. You have 3 loops, and yarn over hook and pull through all 3 loops to make it half double crochet. So this will help to even out that portion a little bit. Now you can ignore the tails. You could even just put it inside one of the legs. Okay. Next stitch is an increase. There. And then the last 2 stitches are single crochet. 1, 2. Okay. After this, we need to make 2 single crochet on the chains. So the way you do that is you see this part? I'm gonna zoom in a little bit so you can see. But there's like a tiny dash sort of texture there. You're going to have to insert your hook into it. If you have a hard time, you can also use a needle to help you get the hook through that, the tiny dash. And then let's yarn over hook, pull through, yarn over hook, pull through to make a single crochet on the chain. And then one more. Right, as you can see, we just made 2 single crochet on that 2 chains at the beginning. And then, so we have finished crocheting on the first leg. This is the first leg, and then on the chain. And now we need to move on to the second leg on the side. Okay. So next, what we're going to make is 2 single crochet. This is the next stitch here. So let's make. Okay, that's 1 single crochet. Okay, that's the second single crochet. Next stitch is an increase, so let's do that. 1, 2, then we'll make 4 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4. So let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we will increase again. And then make 2 single crochet. 1, 2. Okay. Then let's mark the end of this round. Alright, so if you look from the top, it should look something like this. Here's the front side, and then here's the back side. Okay. You should have a total of 28 stitches at the end of this round. So now that legs are joined, you will treat this whole thing as a round. Okay. For round 7, just follow along with me. First, we are going to make 2 half double crochet, 1 in each stitch here, right next to my hook. So let's yarn over hook, and then insert the hook, yarn over hook, pull through, yarn over hook again, and pull through both loops to form a half double crochet. Repeat one more time. So yarn over hook, insert the hook, and then yarn over hook, pull through, yarn over hook, pull through all loops. So we got 2 half double crochet. Then we are going to make 12 single crochet. So let's start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Next, make 2 half double crochet in the middle, again 1 in each stitch. This one half double crochet, there we go. So we have 1 half double crochet and then the second half double crochet. Next, we are going to make 9 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. For the next 3 stitches, we are going to have to change color to white. So the stitch before the color change, what I like to do is I'm going to undo this entire single crochet, and I'm only going to make a single crochet halfway. What I meant is I'm going to insert my hook, yarn over hook, and pull through. This is halfway because to do it fully you'll have to yarn over hook and then pull through both loops, but we're going to hold it off right here. Now you will have to grab the white color because I'm changing to the white color. Put the white yarn over this hook and wrap it like this, and just pull this white yarn through both loops. So right now we have a lot of pieces going on. So first you have this long pink yarn, you have the short part of the white yarn, and then have the long part of the white yarn. What you're going to do after this is you're going to grab the long pink yarn and the short white yarn and put it in the back, and then hold it for now, like kind of hold it for now. And now you're going to continue on the next stitch by inserting your hook into it. Now the tails that we hide behind, let's bring it forward on top of the hook. So I just put the pink yarn and then the short end of the white yarn on top of my hook. So now we can continue crocheting with the new color. So I'm gonna yarn over hook and then pull through. Now you have 2 loops with white color. You're going to yarn over hook again and then pull through both loops. So as you can see, we have changed from pink to white. So now that this part is done and secure, I can cut this off. And then kind of ignore it because it will be on the inside anyway. For the last 2 stitches, we'll have to make 1 single crochet in each. And now we are done with this round. Let's insert back the stitch marker. And for the end of round 7, it will look like this. And you should have a total of 28 stitches. For round 8, let's start by making 2 half double crochet, 1 in each stitch. And we're just going to continue with the white yarn for now. Then make 3 single crochet. And actually the next part of this pattern is gonna be pink, so we have to undo this last stitch in order to change the color back to pink. Alright, so I'm going to single crochet halfway like this. Grab the pink yarn, put it over my hook, and then pull it through both of the loops. Again, we're going to grab this short end of the old color and then short end of the new color, and then the old color is white. We're going to put those two tails on the back side, and let's start making a single crochet. And when you do that, make sure to wrap around the tails to secure it. Okay, that's one single crochet, and we finish with these, so let's cut them off. And now let's continue. You need to make 8 more single crochet with the pink color. 1, okay, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, oops, 7, 8, 9. Okay, let me count again. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so 9 single crochet in total there. Then you are going to make 2 half double crochet, 1, 2. Then make 8 single crochet. Oops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then this will be the 8th, but since we need to change the color again, I'm only making it halfway. Now let's grab the white yarn, put it over the hook, pull it through. Then we're going to start on the next stitch making 4 single crochet. Okay, in the next stitch just 1 single crochet and then 3 more. 2, 3, and then this last one will be 4. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's mark the end of this round, and then we can trim this off. And here is the end of round 8. You should have a total of 28 stitches. For round 9, let's make 6 single crochet with the white yarn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then on the 6th I'm only doing it halfway because we are switching back to pink color. Now with the pink color we are going to make 18 single crochet. Let's wrap around the tails. Okay, that's a single crochet, and let's trim this off. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I messed that up, so let me recount. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and then 18 is only halfway because we have to change color to white. Alright, and for the next stitch we need to make a decrease with the white. So after I insert the hook, let's wrap around those yarn, and then yarn over hook, pull through, insert the hook into the stitch after this one, yarn over hook, pull through, and yarn over hook, pull through all 3 loops. This is the decrease stitch, and for the last 2 stitches make single crochet, 1, 2. Let's mark the end of this round, and then we can go back and trim the tails. I use the term tails and yarn a little bit interchangeably, if you have noticed. Alright, so this is the end of round 9, and you should have a total of 27 stitches. Let's start round 10. We're going to continue with the white color. Make 4 single crochet, 1, 2, 3, 4, then make a decrease, but this time we have to make decrease halfway. So by that I mean, let's insert the hook into the next stitch, yarn over hook, pull through, then insert the hook into the stitch after, yarn over hook, pull through. We're going to pause here where we have 3 loops for the decrease. Hold the yarn for now and grab pink color yarn. Put it over your hook and then use that to pull through all 3 loops to form a decrease stitch. Okay, now the rest is the same thing. Essentially, we'll continue with the single crochet and wrap around the tail before completing the single crochet. So that's 1. We need to make 4, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to trim off the tail so it's not in the way. Now let's continue. Make 1 decrease. Then make 6 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then make a decrease. Then make 1 single crochet. And then make 1 decrease. Then 1 single crochet, but only halfway. Grab the white yarn and complete that single crochet. For the next 3 stitches, we are going to make 3 single crochet, 1 in each with the white color. One, 2, 3. Let's mark the end of this round. Then trim off the tails. So this is what the end of round 10 should look like. And you should have a total of 23 stitches. Okay, here we are on round 11. Let's make a decrease. And after that, 3 single crochet. 1, 2, and then on the third one, only halfway. Let's change back to pink color. Then make 1 single crochet, wrap around the tails, okay. Now let's trim off the tails. Then make a decrease. After that, 4 single crochet, 1, 2, 3, 4, make a decrease, make 6 single crochet, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Actually on the 6 we need to make it halfway because we need to change the color again. Alright, so grab the white yarn, and we're going to make 3 single crochet in the last 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3. Mark the end of this round, then trim off the tails, and here's what the end of round 11 should look like. You should have a total of 20 stitches. For round 12, make 4 single crochet, 1, 2, 3, and on the 4th, only halfway, grab the pink yarn, change the color, okay, then make 13 single crochet, okay, that is 1. Then let's trim off the tails, two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and on the 13, only halfway. And I'm going to take this stitch marker out ahead of time because it's getting too close. But also in the next 3 stitches, we're just gonna make 3 single crochet using the white color. Okay, that's 1. There's 2 and then 3. Let's mark the end of this round and then trim off the excess tail. And this is how your round 12 should look like. You should have a total of 20 stitches. 13. Round 13 is actually the best because you don't need to change color anymore, and it is the last round for the body. All you need to make is 4 single crochet, so let's get that done. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pretty easy, right? So now that we are done, let's finish it off with a long tail. Alright, and remove the stitch marker too. So this is what round 13 should look like. If you count all of the stitches, you should still have 20 stitches in total. And now it's time to stuff. So here I got some stuffing. We're going to break it up a little bit in order to stuff each feet first. You can just stuff it with your hand. Just make sure to put a lot toward this area so that it stays. I like to stuff a lot, so I'm gonna put a lot of the stuffing in there. I think more stuffing can be added after you started sewing. So even if you cannot put everything in right now, you can always add it a little bit later. Next step, we will have to embroider the heart shape right on top of the belly. So you'll have to mark the location of the heart with 3 of these pins. So we're going to mark by counting. So you can see this is the first round in white color, so we're gonna count 1, 2, and then you're going to try to mark it in the middle. Okay, then grab the next pin. Next pin will just be going 1 on the right, and then count 1, 2, going up like that. And then 1 more pin starting from this bottom pin, go 1 on the left, and then count up 1, 2. So this is the rough location of where I think the heart should be. And in order to make the heart, we are going to use this dark pink color. Let's just cut out like a long piece of dark pink yarn to work with here. Then insert this into a needle. Okay. What you need to do next is insert this needle at where the pin is at. So I'm gonna start from like over here. And after I got my needle through that hole, I'm gonna pull out the pin. Then I'm going to pull this long piece of yarn, but not all the way. So you want to make sure we didn't pull it all the way out. And then let's insert the needle through this bottom hole here. And now I'm going to insert my needle through this last pin. Alright, so we got the outline of the heart a little bit. So now I'm just gonna repeat the same process to make the shape a little bit thicker. If the stuffing comes out, just push it back inside or pull it out. That's totally fine. Yep, I think that looks good. And once you're done, make sure that the embroidered detail is tight. You can pull the yarn a little bit. And then let's tie these two tails into a knot. Okay? To secure it. And I'm gonna do a double knot just in case. Then you can trim off the tail and hide it inside of the body here. And that's it. Next, we are going to make the daisy flower using this yellow embroidery thread. These are 6-strand embroidery thread, and we're going to crochet it with the 1.5 mm hook. Alright, first thing first, make a new loop. Then chain 2 times. 1, 2. And then make 6 single crochet into the first chain. second one, third, that's 4, that's 5, and then 6. Because the stitch marker is too big to really mark the end of this round, what you can do instead is grab a different thread and then, you know, just cut it. And you can also just insert that into the end of the round if you want to mark this round. But since it's a first round and we only have 6 stitches and the piece is so tiny, I'm gonna skip marking this first round, but I'm gonna make sure to keep counts in my head to make sure that we finish off the second round with the correct number of stitches. For round 2, we are going to make 6 increases, so it's going to be 1 increase in each stitch around, starting with the first one here. And it might be a bit harder because the piece is so small, but I believe you got it. I'm simply trying to yarn over hook and pull through. Okay, here we go. That's 1 single crochet in the first stitch, and then I need to make 1 more so it comes an increase. Alright. So the thing that would help out a lot is to essentially loosen up your tension. So don't crochet too tight when using embroidery thread because it will be much harder. So I'm trying to loosen up the tightness of the stitch in this round. Okay, so that's the second increase now. That's the third increase. Fifth time. Okay, that's the sixth. So just make sure to count again to make sure that didn't miss anything. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Oh, I guess I did miscount somewhere. There's only 11, so I will do 1 more increase. Okay, so this time 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Okay, so we should have 12 stitches at the end of round 2. And once you're done, I'm gonna pause the work here. What you could also do to mark the end of this round is what I usually like to do is let's insert the hook into this last stitch. I'm gonna grab this tail on this piece and I'm gonna pull it through. Okay. Alright. So in that way, you can see that this is the last stitch and it will not, like, you know, come off by accident because it's part of the actual piece. Okay, now for round 3, you just need to make single crochet, basically 1 single crochet in each stitch around, and I will see you at the end of round 3. Here is the end of round 3. As you can see, this is where the last stitch is at. The piece should start to curve a little bit, and that's what we want. For round 4, we need to switch to white yarn, and if you remember how to switch the color, we are going to undo the last stitch and only make single crochet halfway. So let's do that. Okay. Now grab the white color yarn. And when I say yarn, I actually meant the embroidery thread. Put it over your hook. Pull through both loops to finish off the single crochet. Now put these tails in the back, and then we'll be ready to begin the next round. So for this next round, we are going to start off with chaining 5 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you are going to make 1 single crochet by skipping this chain right next to hook. It's always going to be skipped, and then the second one next to hook. Make 1 single crochet. Then in the next 2 stitches or the chain, make half double crochet. One, 2. Then make a single crochet here in the next chain. Then on this yellow piece, I call it a disc, we are going to make 1 slip stitch, and it's only gonna be on the front loop. Okay, so this is the next stitch here, and if you don't already know this, each single crochet will have the front loop, which is on this side, and then the back loop on this side. So we only want to grab the front, so I'm going to insert my hook into the front only. Okay, then yarn over hook, pull through, and to complete the slip stitch, you're gonna pull the loop, first loop, into the second loop here. Alright, so this is how to make a petal. And then actually when you make the slip stitch, I'm gonna undo this for a second. Let me redo the slip stitch. When you do this slip stitch once again, make sure to put the tails over it to secure the color change, and then I'm gonna complete it again. like that. Then I'm gonna keep going and show you how to make the petal one more time. We actually need 11 of these, so actually let me trim off the old color first because it's kind of in the way. Okay, so now same thing, chain 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then make 1 single crochet. Then make 2 half double crochet. This one. Okay, that's the second one. And then make a single crochet. Okay, so once you are done with that, on this itself, same thing, insert your hook into the front loop only. Oops. Yarn over hook, pull through, and then pull the first loop into the second loop to complete the petal. So as you can see, now we have 2 petals. Repeat this 9 more times so that you have a total of 11 petals. Here's the end of round 4. We are now done with making the petal. There should be 11 of them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And if you look closely here, you will see that there's one stitch that we have not touched. This one will be skipped, the last stitch on the disc, so don't worry about it. Okay, so once you're done, let's finish it off first. Okay, next we are going to make the flower stalk or stem, whatever you call it, with this green color. So first off, make a new loop. And then we're going to take the daisy flower here, and what we are going to do is we are going to crochet on this round 4, and what the stitch that we can see here is the back loop. Remember how when we are crocheting the petal, we are only using the front loop. Now the back loop is available for us to crochet here. So let's do that. I'm gonna insert my hook into here with the new loop. Oops. And then what you would want to do is starting to crochet. So we are going to make 12 single crochet in this round. So yarn over hook, pull through, and then yarn over hook, pull through again to make a single crochet. So let's keep going. Okay, that's a second single crochet. Three, four, five, six. Now we are halfway there. Let's continue. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then last one here. 12. Now let me actually trim these tails because it's kind of confusing having it all over my piece. I'm gonna cut everything except the green one. So you can see we simply just single crochet around, and there should be a total of 12 stitches. And then for this short end of the green, I'm simply going to use it to mark the end of this round. So insert your hook into the last stitch, grab that short end of the green yarn, okay, and then this yarn over hook and pull through. And then this white is kind of in the way, so I'm going to move it inside of here and then trim it off. Okay, trim it off. Alright, so that's the end of round 4 on the back loop only. For round 5, you are going to make 2 single crochet followed by a decrease. And again, because the stitch is so little, it might take some time to even just, insert the hook into the stitch here. Oops. For this round, you want to insert the hook under both the front loop and then the back loop. Just crochet normally. Alright, so let's do it. That's 1 single crochet. Okay, that's 2. Then decrease. Alright, so we did 1 single crochet, the second one, and then decrease. You're going to repeat it for 2 more times. Here is the end of round 5. We should have a total of 9 stitches. For round 6, it's going to be similar sequence. You will make 1 single crochet followed by a decrease. One, okay, that's a decrease. Then you will repeat 2 more times. If you want to add a little bit of stuffing, you can do as well. Maybe with the help of your tweezer, and can put a little bit of stuffing. If not, it's totally fine to not stuff because the piece is small enough. And when you crochet things with embroidery thread, usually the piece is pretty stiff, so it will hold its shape. Here's the end of round 6. You should have a total of 6 stitches in this round. For round 7 until round 12, basically for a total of 6 rounds, or you're going to make a single crochet round. And because you already know how to do that, I'm gonna meet you at the end of round 12. So here's the end of round 12. You should have a total of 6 stitches. Now let's finish off with a long tail because you will have to sew this on top of the frog's head. And then last thing, we need to clean this up. The easiest thing to do is simply to cut it. Okay. And then if there's some tail creeping out, you can use a needle to push it back in. And that is pretty much it. As for the flower, if it's curled up, just expand it out like this. And here we are done with the daisy flower. So right now, here are the parts that you should have already made. These are the cheek blushes, the arms, the eyes, daisy flower, part of the body, and then the head. So we are going to assemble all of them together. The first thing I'm going to assemble first would be the arms by attaching it to the body. So let's put everything aside. So the arm's gonna go right on the side of the body. Let's pick one of them up. And then let's insert it into the needle here. And before we start, actually we're going to add a little bit of stuffing first. And because the area is so small, I'm going to use my tweezer, which is used exclusively for crochet. It should help me being able to push all this stuffing inside. And then anything that is excess, we'll pull it out. Don't need a lot. Same thing for the other one. And then just a little bit more. Alright, so there's done. Now let's actually sew the arm to the body. Usually the arm will go like right around here where you can see the color changing. So I'm gonna insert my needle into the body itself and pull. And I'm gonna kind of turn around the arm this way so it's on the pink portion. Next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna insert my needle in the opposite direction, going from the inside to the outside. And then now we're going to sort of flatten this top part. And I want to insert my needle through the stitch on the side and then out to another stitch on the other side. And once we do that, let's come back and insert the needle through the same stitch that we came out of. Alright, so just kind of sewing it like that, and then we're going to repeat for the subsequent stitches. Then on this side, you just want to make sure that it's attached to the body. Okay, so once you're done with that part, it should look something like this, where you can lift up the arm, and then it should naturally fold down like this if you are sewing it correctly. Alright, and I'm going to leave this tail like this for now. You are going to sew another arm, and once the other arm are sewn, you are also going to have another tail of these. We're going to tie them together to secure it. So I'll come back after you sew the other arm. So here is how the other side of the arm looks like. Now that we have sewn both arms on, let's secure the tails and tie them into a knot. Alright, that is pretty much it. And what I'm going to do next is cut out one of the tail, and I'm going to leave the other one because we kind of need this to sew the body onto the head like that, but we are going to do it later. So let's set this aside for now. Next, we are going to have to position the eyes on the head. However, it must be positioned at a specific location, and therefore we are going to count the location of the round. So as you can see here, this whole thing here is round 1. This is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, where 9 is right on top where I put my needle at. And I'm going to mark roughly with the pin to make sure that I got the location down. So the eyes, when you put it on top of the head, this part should not go any lower than round 9, okay? I'm actually going to put another pin to mark on the other side. So this be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, and then let me pin it. Okay. So roughly, if you put the eyes on, it should be around here. Yep. And the way you make sure it's placed correctly is if you take a look at your piece, you will notice that the side is actually shorter than this side. And the reason is because this side only have single crochet, whereas this side have a combination of different stitches like the half double crochet and double crochet. Okay, so this side actually is longer than this side. So we want to make sure that the longer side of the eye is facing this way. It's facing away from the face itself. And then the shorter side will be closer to the center. Okay, so I'm going to actually start placing the eye, and once I do that, I'm going to pin it with additional pin so that we can secure the location for now so that it doesn't move. Same thing on the other side. This side has a shorter length, so we're going to put it closer to the middle. Okay, so and then you just need to flip your piece and make sure that we're not putting it way too close. It should be kind of in a straight line somewhat. And let's pin that. It's crucial that we place the eyes at a good location so that the frog look as cute as it could be. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm gonna put another pin over here right next to this corner, and then one more pin over here right next to the other corner of the eye to kind of mark the location temporarily. Then you will have to use another pin to mark the location of where the black eyes would go into. So typically black eye will go in the center of this pink eye. We'll mark it at this bottom stitch right in the middle, as you can see. And we're going to grab another pin and then count 1 and then 2. So the other eye will go up here. And if you look closely, you can see that the lengths here are 2 stitches apart, okay, between the first pin and then the second pin, because the eye is 2 stitches long for the black eye. We're just marking the location right now, we're not doing anything yet. Same thing for the other side. Just want to mark it somewhere in the middle at the bottom stitch here, and we're gonna count 1, 2 to go up, and then put another. This one is not that good. I'm gonna grab the other pin. Okay, something like this. So once you already have the location of the black eyes down, what you need to do is pull this pin up to release the eye. Same thing for the other side. Oops. And the only pins still remaining on the head, we're keeping it for now because we are going to place the eyes back once we embroider the black eye. Okay, so now it comes to the fun part. We get to embroider the black eye with black embroidery thread. You can also use the black yarn itself. The reason I use black embroidery thread is because if you look closely, for each kind of yarn, you're always going to see like the tiny fiber coming out of it a little bit. For black embroidery thread, I noticed that it will give a more crisp looks. So it will be like less fiber coming out, and it will make your eyes a little bit more sharp than using the black yarn itself. So now we're going to simply sew. And the black eye is simply a straight line, so that is easy to make. But because the embroidery thread is very thin, we'll have to do this quite a few times. Right, we got one line. We'll just have to wrap around the yarn many more times. Yeah, it mainly depends on, you know, how thick you want the eye to be. So this is after we wrapping it 3 times. And you can kind of adjust it, right? Don't put too much on top of each other, kind of put it on the side so that you get a wider eye quicker. Alright, I'm gonna do it a couple more times. Nope. Okay. Okay, so once the eye is thick enough, let's trim off this tail. And you can secure it by tying it into a knot. Oops. Okay, and then everything else I would just hide it inside. So once this one is done, let's put it back at where it should be. Okay. And I'm gonna secure it or fix the position with that big pin. Okay, so you do the same for the other eyes. Make the black eye and then, place it back on top of the head. So now that you have placed both eyes on top of the head, let's grab this tail and then insert it into the needle so that we can sew. Alright, and then the sewing process is very simple. First, we are going to try to grab some stitch from the head. Alright. Okay. And once I do that, let's pull. And the next part would be trying to insert the needle from inside of the eyes, coming out through one of the stitch here. And then we'll repeat the same thing. So that's about it in terms of the sewing. So let's grab a stitch nearby on the head. Okay, something like that. Pull your yarn, and then from the eyes, going inside out on the stitch after. Boom. That's how you sew. So I will do a couple more for you. Grab the stitch on the head and then pull, and then going from inside and then coming out on the eye itself. And then let's grab the stitch on the head, pull, insert the needle inside out from the eye. Okay. Yep. And then while you are sewing, make sure to not try to rotate this. Wherever you position it, keep it like that, keep it fixed. So I'm going to continue to sew the eye a little bit more, maybe up to this point, so that there's a little bit of gap for me to add the stuffing later. Alright, so we started sewing over there, and I kept sewing around to this back side, and as you can see, I haven't completely sewed it all the way close because we need to add some stuffing inside the eye itself. So let's grab some stuffing, and same thing, grab your tool, whether it be a tweezer chopstick, whatever. It will help you to stuff the eyes. Yeah, so and the reason I stuff it after I sew already is because if you already stuff it first and then sew it, the chances are you are more likely to pick up the stuffing while you sewing, so the stuffing might tend to come out with your needle, and I just don't like that, so I like to stuff it after. Yeah, so after you stuff the eye, just continue to sew it all the way completely. So now I have finished sewing the eyes onto the face. The next part we are going to do is we need to sew a smile on the face. So for the smile, we are going to, again, let's mark the position. So the first pin is going to be between round 5 and 6. So let's count. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, where 5 is right above the pin and then 6 is a little bit down. And I'm going to move my pin a little bit to the side. And then the other pin is going to be, should be 5 stitches away from the first pin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If it turns out that this is a little bit too close to the eye, we are going to shift it 1 round downward. Okay, just make sure that the space between these 2 pins are 5 stitches apart. So let me count again. You can count by the hole. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's great. And we're also going to grab 2 more pins to mark where the smile would end. So that would be, okay, from this pin, you're gonna count 1, 2. So it's going to be on this round. Okay, and then I'm gonna pin it here for now. Pin 1 here and then adjust it so that these 2 pins are kind of in the middle between those top pins. You just have to kind of adjust it so that the smile is symmetrical. Okay, and once you got the location of the smile, next we are still going to use this black embroidery thread to sew the smile. So let's start. Alright, almost done. Just need a horizontal line right at the bottom here. Okay, here we got the smile. And to clean it up, as always, trim the tails. I think I trimmed it a little bit too short because I'm supposed to tie a knot and now I'm having difficulty. In that case, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to use this one to help me tie a knot. Accident happens sometimes, so it's okay. Okay, so now that it does not stay, which is the issue. Anyway, I'll just knot it one more time. That's fine. Then we just need to make sure to hide all this inside. And then, ta-da! Okay, next you are going to sew these blushes right next to the eyes. So, let's see. And then it's going to be slightly away from the mouth as well. Okay, you can see. Yeah, so this tip would be around here, whereas one round lower than the smile. Okay, so let's sew that using this tail. And the sewing process is very similar to how you sew the eyes, because the tail is right now on the blush itself. The next step you have to do is grab some yarn from the face and then pull it. Okay. Then you are going to alternate and come back to the blush by inserting the needle through the next stitch. It's gonna be from the back side coming out to the front. Oopsie. Okay. But since this is a flat piece, instead of going over like this, I typically like to insert the needle into the stitch after, from the front to the back. Okay, before I grab another piece of yarn nearby on the face. It just gives a slightly cleaner look in terms of what the sewn part looks like. Okay, then we repeat the same process. So going from back to the front, and then on the next stitch, front to the back. Now grab some yarn on the face. Right, and then just keep going until it's completely sewn to the face on both sides. So here I have finished sewing the cheek blushes on both sides. Next we are going to sew this daisy right on top of the head. Make sure to mark the location of it. I will just push the needle hopefully right through the center. Okay. Then you can fix the location like that. Okay. And then again, we are going to use this tail to help sew. The needle I have here is a little bit big, so I'm going to switch to a slightly smaller one. Then the way you would sew this will be the same as the eyes. Because I have the tail of the daisy right now, I'm gonna try my best to grab a stitch or grab some yarn on the face and pull it through. Okay. Now back to this side. It's a little bit harder to see because it's small, but you would want to insert your needle from inside going out on the next stitch available on daisy flower. Yes, slightly harder to see. Okay, so like somewhere like that. And then I'm gonna pull. And then same thing, grab the yarn on the head. Just a little bit is fine. And then insert the needle inside out. It's gonna be slightly challenging. I might have to pull that pin out so that I can angle the flower a little bit. Okay, here. Alright, I think you get the idea. And then just keep going until you reach the other side where you have started. And the last assembly, we are going to sew the body to the head. Almost done. So excited. Just make sure to place the body in the middle of the head. Okay. So you might have to take a look at different angle. Make sure that it's right in the middle. And then you're going to fix the location using the pin. Many pins actually. If you don't like where it is right now, you can always move it now before it's sewn on. Otherwise it's gonna be harder. So I'm gonna pin 2 of them in the front and then 2 of them on the back. As for the sewing process, for this part of the body, when you sew it to the head, you are going to use this white tail. However, for the rest of the part, because it's both pink color, we're just gonna use this pink tail that we have right here. Right now the tail is on the body, so what you're going to do is grab the yarn on the head. So I'm gonna do that. Okay, and then pull. Next step is to go inside out. So we're going to insert the needle from inside of the body in the stitch after this, and then make sure it come out this way, and then pull. And that's pretty much it. So only 2 steps, right? You grab the yarn on the head, you go into the body, insert your needle out, and that's it. And then just repeat. So I will repeat a couple of times to show you. Okay. Needle coming out. Grab the yarn, pull. Same thing, needle coming out. Gonna grab the yarn and then pull. So here's the completely sewn body to the head, and we are done. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.